Have you ever wondered if mixing different types of alcohol really gets you drunk faster? It's a question that's crossed many minds, and it's just one of the countless myths surrounding alcohol. These misconceptions often lead to confusion, and sometimes even risky behavior. But don't worry, we're here to shed light on the truth. From the buzz about mixing drinks to the cure-all properties of coffee, we're about to bust some of the most prevalent alcohol myths. Well, stick around as we debunk this and other common alcohol myths. First up, the idea that mixing types of alcohol gets you drunk faster. This is a commonly held myth that has been passed down through generations. But is there any truth to it? Let's take a closer look. This myth likely originates from the subjective feeling of being drunk. Different types of alcohol can have different effects on the body. For instance, the congeners in dark liquors like whiskey and rum can make you feel intoxicated more quickly than clear liquors like vodka or gin. This, combined with the fact that our bodies react differently to different types of alcohol, can lead to the perception that mixing drinks gets you drunk faster. But let's talk facts. The science behind alcohol absorption tells a different story. Alcohol is alcohol, whether it's in a shot of tequila, a glass of wine, or a pint of beer. Your body processes it all the same way. How does it work? Once you take that sip, the alcohol travels to your stomach where about 20% is absorbed into your bloodstream. The remaining 80% moves on to your small intestine, where it's also absorbed into your bloodstream. This process happens at a fairly consistent rate, regardless of the type of alcohol you're drinking. So, if you're drinking the same amount of alcohol, whether it's all from beer or a mix of beer, wine, and spirits, your body is absorbing it at the same rate. The speed of your buzz isn't determined by the variety of drinks, but by the volume of alcohol and the rate at which you're drinking. Now, this isn't an invitation to start mixing all your drinks, as this can still lead to a nasty hangover. Different types of alcohol contain different ingredients that can contribute to that morning after headache. Plus, when you mix drinks, it can be harder to keep track of how much you're consuming, which can lead to over-drinking. So, sorry folks, mixing your drinks doesn't speed up the buzz. Instead, it's all about moderation, pacing yourself, and being aware of how much you're drinking. Stay tuned for more myth-busting facts about alcohol in our next scene. Next, we tackle the old saying, beer before liquor, never been sicker. You may have heard this one at a party or a bar, but is there any truth to it? Let's take a closer look. This saying has been around for ages, often recited as a cautionary tale to those indulging in a night out. The idea behind it is that starting with beer and then moving on to harder spirits like whiskey or vodka could lead to a more severe hangover, or even worse, a terrible case of nausea. But as with many old sayings, the science doesn't quite back this one up. The root of the issue isn't about the order in which you consume your drinks, but rather the total amount of alcohol you're consuming and the pace at which you're drinking. You see, alcohol is alcohol, whether it's in a pint of beer or a shot of vodka. What matters most is the alcohol by volume, or ABV. A standard serving of beer, wine, or spirits all contain roughly the same amount of alcohol. So if you're drinking 3 beers at a leisurely pace, it might not hit you as hard as downing 3 shots of whiskey in quick succession. This is where pace comes into play. Drinking too quickly can overwhelm your body's ability to process the alcohol, leading to intoxication and potentially a nasty hangover. This might be why the saying came about. If you start with beer, which is typically consumed more slowly, and then switch to hard liquor, you might be more likely to drink at a faster pace without realizing it. But the key takeaway here is this. It's not about beer before liquor or vice versa. It's about understanding your limits, pacing yourself, and not overdoing it. So, the next time you're out with friends, remember, it's not about the order you drink, but how much and how fast. Ever heard that coffee sobers you up after a night of drinking? This is a common belief that's been passed around like a flask at a party. But, as we've been doing throughout this video, it's time to shake up the cocktail of myths and serve you a straight shot of truth. So, let's grind down this myth and brew up some facts. The belief goes that after a night of drinking, a cup of strong coffee can clear your head and make you sober again. It's a comforting thought, especially after a night of revelry, but unfortunately it's just not true. Let's consider what alcohol does to your body. It slows your nervous system, dulls your senses, and impairs your judgment. Now, coffee, on the other hand, is a stimulant. It wakes you up, boosts your energy levels, and can make you feel more alert. But here's the kicker. Feeling more awake and alert is not the same as being sober. Caffeine, the active ingredient in coffee, does not decrease the level of alcohol in your blood. It has no power over your liver, which is the organ responsible for metabolizing alcohol. No matter how many cups of coffee you drink, it won't speed up this process. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you've had a few too many drinks and you're feeling a bit groggy, a cup of coffee might help you feel more awake. But don't be fooled into thinking you're sober. Your reflexes will still be slower, your judgment still impaired. In fact, the combination of alcohol and caffeine can be dangerous. You may feel alert enough to attempt tasks that require concentration and coordination, like driving, but your blood alcohol level could still be over the legal limit, putting you and others at risk. In conclusion, caffeine and alcohol are a deceptive duo. They may seem like they balance each other out, but in reality, they're just masking the effects of one another. So while a cup of Joe might wake you up, it won't sober you up. Let's talk about the myth of sweating out a hangover. You've probably heard this one before, maybe even tried it after a night of a few too many. The idea is that you can speed up your body's alcohol detoxification process by sweating it out, whether that's through exercise, a hot bath, or a sauna session. But is there any truth to this? Well, let's first understand how our body processes alcohol. When you drink, alcohol enters your bloodstream and is metabolized primarily in your liver. Your liver does the heavy lifting, converting alcohol into a substance called acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that's eventually broken down into harmless water and carbon dioxide, which your body then eliminates. Now, here's where the myth falls apart. Sweating, whether it's from a tough workout or a hot sauna, doesn't speed up this process. Your liver can only metabolize a certain amount of alcohol per hour, no matter what you do. Sweating doesn't eliminate alcohol from your bloodstream. It's not like you can just sweat out the toxins. Sure, you might sweat out a tiny amount of alcohol, but it's negligible compared to what your liver is handling. Moreover, attempting to sweat out a hangover can actually be dangerous. Alcohol dehydrates you, and so does sweating. So, if you're hungover and you try to sweat it out, you're risking severe dehydration, which can lead to a host of other problems like dizziness, rapid heartbeat, and in extreme cases, even unconsciousness. So the next time you wake up with a pounding headache after a night out, don't hit the gym or hop into a sauna. Instead, hydrate, eat some food, and give your body time to do its job. Remember, there's no shortcut to sobering up or curing a hangover. So no matter how much you sweat, it won't cure your hangover any faster, but it could potentially make it worse. So, let's stick to the facts, not the myths when it comes to dealing with hangovers. So, we've busted some common alcohol myths today. Let's take a moment to revisit what we've learned. Firstly, we debunked the myth that consuming different types of alcohol can lead to a quicker buzz. The fact is, it's the quantity and speed of consumption, not the variety, that dictates your level of intoxication. Then we shattered the beer before liquor, never sicker, liquor before beer, you're in the clear adage. The order in which you drink doesn't affect your hangover. It's all about moderation and hydration. We also addressed the widely believed coffee cure. Coffee, despite its stimulating effect, doesn't sober you up. It merely masks the symptoms of intoxication, potentially leading to more dangerous situations. Next, we tackled the idea of sweating it out. Exercise or a hot sauna might make you feel better, but they're not speeding up your body's alcohol metabolism. By debunking these myths, we've highlighted the importance of understanding the facts about alcohol. It's not about spoiling your fun, but about ensuring that you're drinking in a safe and responsible way. Misinformation can lead to risky behavior, but knowledge can help you make better decisions. And that's what it all comes down to, making informed decisions about your drinking habits. Remember, knowing the facts is the first step to safe and responsible drinking. Thanks for joining us in debunking these alcohol myths.